Yo, 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 yo. What up, family? We back. We back. This is the Who You Talking To show featuring the Glizzy Gobbler himself. OleHead Senior, appreciate you, man. We doing this. We actually getting a little consistent here lately.
I don't know
We've
if
been
you
getting a little
call it.
consistent.
Nigga, you got 3 goddamn shows, and the last one, your goddamn mic wasn't on. So what?
Oh yeah, nah, I fucked that one up last week. I apologize about that. My
Yeah,
mic,
that was
you know what I
a
mean?
good one too.
The input went out on the preamp, ain't that, you know what I mean? Hey, we getting it worked out though. We
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
hopefully if y'all can hear both of us, please put something in the chat. Let us know that we doing all right. Y'all can hear us. You know something crazy been going on. You know Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Shannon Sharp, which I fuck with.
I do too.
I've been fucking
I
with
like Shannon.
actually Shannon was the reason why I even started watching Undisputed with him and Skip. I didn't even I don't watch sports, but like their show was entertaining enough to where I didn't mind watching, you know what I mean, them
Yeah,
talk about sports. So and that's to me, I think that's what makes a good show, especially if it's like as niche as sports. If you can actually make a good show that people don't care, that don't even care about sports, you know what I mean, will
yeah,
tap into just because of what you know what I mean, the
yeah,
personalities that you have present on the show.
yeah,
And they did a great job doing that. Now he doing his own thing, and
yeah.
Skip fucked up. Skip been fucked up ever
He
since he bailed.
he didn't know how important that combination was. He thought it was all about him, and he could run the whole shit no matter who was there. But they wasn't there. The people wasn't viewing in just to see him.
Yeah,
It was the Shannon flavor that was in there that really got them, to me, made the show.
that's a
You
fact.
know,
I
so
literally there's no reason to watch Skip if Shannon's not there.
hell no.
And certain
And
people just show their value. Like you can in your mind think that you have all this value and and undermine the value of the individual that's like there that's
yeah,
co-hosting. And it's like, bro, that he was very important. And Skip knows it now for sure.
yeah, yeah.
He
Oh
knows it
yeah,
now for
oh
sure.
yeah. He know.
But let's get into the actual, you know what I mean, what's going on, the allegations. Well, I don't even know if it's really allegations at this. Well, the assault part is allegation based.
Yeah,
But he was fucking with old girl. They said it was a 2-year relationship and it started when she was 19.
yeah.
What do you think about Shannon's almost 60? He about, I think, like 56 or something like that.
I
57.
Okay, whatever. It don't matter. It don't matter because she was grown.
She was legal.
In the eyes of the law, she was grown. A woman's
Okay.
grown at 18. A man ain't grown till he's 21.
So are you condoning it?
Am I condoning it?
I'm just asking her.
Okay, I'm gonna put it
I
like
understand
that.
the legality.
I'm gonna
or
put
the
it. I'm
legal
a
spec.
okay.
Go ahead.
Fuck all that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Mm-hmm.
My granddaddy was 33 when he married my grandma, and she was 13.
Right. Those are different times.
What the fuck has it got to do with the?
Well, I would say too. Well, first off, just because they was doing it back then didn't mean it was right. It was just a norm. That don't mean it was right. It was just a norm. It was a
That was
societal
crazy. 13?
Norm. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
Right. So, but it sounded like you were using that to validate the 19 shit.
No, I'm saying, goddamn, this shit ain't just started.
No,
that was my point. I wasn't validating the damn
Okay,
thing.
it sounded like you was on the side that.
No, but I am on this side though.
Bro,
But I'm saying she was 19.
Okay.
She's grown in the eyes of the law.
She can't even buy. She can't buy cigarettes, which I don't condone. Don't smoke. I smoke. It's not good for you. But she couldn't buy She can't buy cigarettes. She can't buy no drink, no alcohol. Like she damn near need parental consent.
But she can fuck anybody she wanna fuck when she wanna fuck them, and goddamn the police can come and kick the goddamn door down. He could have been 75 and he could have been boning the fucking shit out of her, and it wasn't a damn thing they could do.
What I'm saying is that even still, like she could have been months out of high school.
Who gives a fuck where she came from?
What I'm saying is that okay, so you're saying that okay, let me get that's a direct question.
Okay.
Would you think that it would be okay for you to do it?
Oh, no, that's too young for me.
Okay.
That's too young for me.
Why is it? What is it? What is it that makes it too young for you?
Because even if she was 30 and not 19, there's a certain level of maturity that she would have to have. And even at 30, you still ain't there, but you done saw some shit. You done did some shit.
Mm-hmm.
At 19, how much have you done?
A goddamn thing. You ain't done shit.
Yeah, but went to school.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And so So you don't condone it. What's the lowest age you would go? If you weren't married, of course. What's the lowest age you would go? Yeah, I mean, of course, we already know the older dudes like to have a little younger.
It's got to be a 3 in front of your age.
Okay, so at least 30.
At least 30.
Okay.
At least 30.
I ain't gonna fraud. Even with me being my age, I'm 30, be 36. Even at my age, I wouldn't date if I wasn't married. I wouldn't date a chick that was like, or even entertain, like seriously entertain a chick that was probably any younger than like 28.
Mm-hmm.
I think 28 is like the bare minimum, the basement of the, you know what I mean? 28 25. Is the least. No, I wouldn't do 25 because for at least for me, I know around 25, which they say your what is your frontal cortex as an adult, like it is fully developed around like 25. And I remember for me, the lights clicked on at about 27.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to a motherfucker on a regular basis and the light ain't clicked on yet because you ain't talking about shit. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you a couple years of the light.
So you don't believe that girls mature faster than boys?
Well, as far as actual maturity, I don't think so. I think that as boys, we're much more. You can see it in small pre-adolescent kids, like my kids. My son's much more active than my daughter is. So in turn, it can look like he's more childish. Women are just not as active and like, you know what I mean? They just don't do as much as we do. You could call that
what do you mean
a lack of maturity.
Define do as much as we do.
Well, I mean, my daughter's never stood on the fucking kitchen table, the dining room table. Like my son's going. Okay. He's gonna get up that motherfucker. Okay. He's gonna climb on top of the counters. He's gonna do all this shit. And no, Nana's naturally not gonna do that because she is
a girl.
Exactly, but you could see that as maturity. But it's just a difference in the sexes. Like we are different.
That's the thing. It ain't the maturity, it's the difference in the sexes.
That's what I
so let me ask you another question. Uh-huh. So you saying at 25, at 25, that she's not as mature as a 27, 28-year-old man?
No, I just like the number better.
No, see, but it ain't
no. You said, you said that. Do I think that a 25-year-old is
a 25-year-old man and a 27-year-old man, 28-year-old man, and a 25-year-old woman? You don't think she's just as mature as he is?
I would say probably they're close and mature. I think that also just depends on the life, their environment, and their lifestyle, and their upbringing. Because you can get more mature or less mature based on your upbringing as well.
Yeah,
but like you still see the thing is okay. So I would say what the average person does about 5 years in college. Actually, like generally, and then gonna do 5 years if you go to college. So what's that? Graduate at 18. So about 23, right? Then you'll be out of college. I would say that high school, college does not. You're not mature. Like you know what I mean. That doesn't develop maturity. You're just doing the same thing you were doing as a kid.
Other college ain't doing nothing but give you the freedom to do more shit that you couldn't do.
Exactly. So, but that is, you know what I'm saying, that you're still immature. You know what I mean? You haven't done any adulting. You're just fucking going to classes. Like the only thing that makes you mature about going to that helps with college is like the discipline of going to class. But you've been going to class for your whole life. There.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's, you know what I mean? Yeah, that wouldn't be the level. So of course you're gonna be a few years removed from college to actually start adulting, in which I base that's how I base maturity. Is how long have you been adulting? You see what I'm saying? And so like that's how I would look at it.
So if you're 25 and still at home, you ain't adulting.
No.
Okay. I can give you that.
Yeah, you're not adulting.
I can give you that.
You feel like an adult. You're of age, you know what I mean? You're above age, but you still ain't no fucking adult though. You don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I mean, hopefully you. Well, I mean, in a perfect scenario, you don't have kids yet. You know what I mean? But then I think like kids can actually make you mature early. That shit will it'll speed you up for sure. So you said that
because that's responsibility
for sure, and I think that like, and this is what I say, like to me when I identify like an adult or a man. I say that it's the acknowledgement, acceptance of responsibility that's the differentiation between a boy and a man. So I would say the same thing for a female. You know what I mean? But generally they have it a little bit easier. Generally girls can like, especially if pop's around, they fuck around and stay in the house longer. You know what I mean? We end up leaving earlier as men because of the rules and all that shit. We end up leaving early. And of course the coddling is different with dad and you got a daughter at home. I mean, your daughter's at home. That's a level of like that. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Okay. So Fuck that shit. I want to ask you.
What's up?
Yeah, because that ain't our expertise.
What ain't our expertise?
We got no expertise.
You said they ain't got no expertise?
We ain't got shit.
Well, I
just want to ask you, answer this right here.
Nigga broke out the phone. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's I broke out the phone.
Go ahead.
Because I want to ask you.
Are you changing the topic?
Yeah, I'm changing the topic.
Okay, hold on. Don't change it yet. Let's stay here for a second, right? Because we still got the okay, so what we've seen, of course, is like with Shannon making that decision, which I think is a stupid fucking decision. It doesn't make sense for a man that age to be dealing with a woman that age, because essentially you're pretty much just paying to play. You're just paying to play. That I mean, I
think he let everybody know that he didn't mind paying to play.
Right.
And as a grown man, he got the right.
He said he act his wage. He got the quarters. He said he act his wage. Yeah. And so I mean, a lot of those things that people been telling him along the years to leave them young girls alone, stop fucking with the snow bunnies. It ain't aging well, because you literally did the exact thing that niggas been telling you this whole time to lay off of.
But you know how men are. You know how men are. We got to learn the hard way sometimes. And then when you got bread, you know what I mean? The lessons is really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They really come calling for you when they call for you. You know what I mean? So, hey, either way it go, I'm not mad at him. If you can afford to do it,
I'm a little mad at him. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't mad.
I'm a little mad at him. Just on the strength, it's like, bro, come on, bro.
Because they both was adults.
Yeah, but still, I don't, just because you're 19, I don't think you're an adult. I think you're a fucking child.
Bro,
I think 18 is still a fucking child. 19 is still a child.
I understand that though. But see,
is it a child or not?
That's what he got. I understand that.
No. Don't understand. Is it a child or not?
Yeah.
So you okay? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
but you're a child that's old enough to do what you want to do without any consequences.
So should we be up in the age of consent? Do you think?
Up in the age of consent?
Yes, the age of consent, where the age where a female can tell you, or male, because we have the same thing on both sides happening, up in the age to where you can consent to having sexual relationships with, I would say in general, or with older people.
No, who the fuck is gonna be 19 and the law say every goddamn 19, 18-year-old in the goddamn country going to motherfucking jail? Damn near. You got your onesies and twosies, but all of them motherfuckers is fucking way before 18.
Well, I mean, I would assume that like the law is based in. I've never.
So how old was you when you started fucking?
I would say about 16.
So your motherfucking ass would have.
But I was also. But hold on. But I was also having sex with individuals my age.
At 16.
Okay.
At 16.
How old were you when you started fucking?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let's finish.
Go ahead. At 16. Go ahead.
At 16, that means law, the way it is right now, you would have been dodging the police for minimum of 2 years.
I don't think that that's the thing. I don't think that it has to do with like you having sex with people your age. I think that it has to do with when you're like adult. So hold on. The actual law is about having sex with adults. So like someone that's already over the age. You see what I'm saying?
Well, then why is you putting that stipulation on young people? Why not put it on older people? Say so if you okay.
What would the law be?
Say if you 30
and
you fucking with a 19-year-old up to say she has to be at least 21.
But then you
so
too much.
Now,
the laws like you would have
too much.
Well, I'm saying that you saying that laws would have to like be based in age, and they would have to create a law for each.
What is you saying then? You saying the same?
What I'm saying is that no. What I'm saying is that the age of consent. So once you
the
get
age
hold
of
on. So once you get to what they say, quote unquote, adulthood. So 18, right? That legal. So increasing that legal age a few years is what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily.
So as
I'm asking you, do you think that makes sense?
As I was saying, you're gonna punish young people.
How is it punishing them though?
Because they legally can't fuck until they how old?
No. You can still have sex, but you can't have sex with the person who's older, who's already met that age.
Okay, so how many years? How many years? Okay, let's say the law says that now that you have to be 18 to screw.
Adult. No. It's 18 To be considered an adult. So
to be considered an adult.
What it is that once you are considered an adult, you can no longer sleep with people that are not considered adults. So that's where that age thing comes in.
Oh, you saying across the board,
right?
If you
right.
So if you so you're gonna raise it to what age?
I would say at the end
like
of the day,
alcohol?
No, I would assume that at the very least, if you're gonna say that you can't smoke cigarettes or alcohol until you're 21, but the only thing is you can still go into the military at 18. Generally, that's the argument that they make all the time. You can go into the military at 18, which is a crazy, you know what I mean?
You can go die at 18, but you can't smoke.
Right, you can go to college and get $100,000 worth of debt starting at 18. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but what I'm saying,
then that means that they have to change more than just that law. Because if you're gonna say I'm old enough, to go die at 18, but I ain't old enough to go fuck who I want to fuck at 18.
You're just not able to have sex with people that are younger than 18.
But I can go die though. So you saying you can't have sex with people that's young. Once you reach 18, you can't have sex with people that's younger than 18.
Yeah, who are still in they're still in school. And you know what I mean? So essentially 18 is that graduation time where now you out of school. You see what I'm saying?
Understand.
And so they use it for that. They use it at that level.
So
what I'm saying, do you think that it makes sense to increase that or just leave it the same?
I don't think that's putting too much. You know how many people be going to jail? No, an 18-year-old girl don't want an 18-year-old boy. She don't want an 18-year-old boy.
I'd agree. A lot of the
so what you gonna do? Put all the kids in jail at 18?
No. So I understand what you're saying. Oftentimes it doesn't go into that.
Girls in high school date dudes in college and older.
What older dudes?
Girls in college, 18, you don't went to college. Girls in college usually date grown men.
Not from what I see. Girls in college generally date college guys.
No, they screw y'all.
But they date college guys. Because at the end of the day in college, generally people it's a whole bunch of the relationship shit in college. Like niggas dropping off and you know what I mean? And when you in that college setting and y'all in that, you ain't never been. So just let me tell you. Let me educate you.
All right.
You know what I mean?
College.
But you ain't.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that when you on campus, generally everybody's doing that sleep around thing. And that's when you really, because y'all all of just getting this freedom to where your parents aren't, you know what I mean? They're not checking on you like that. So you got the freedom so generally in college kids fuck with college kids. That's how that works. But I agree with you in high school. A lot of the high school girls were dating dudes that weren't in high school that had cars and you know what I mean? They were looking for benefits that we couldn't, you know what I mean? We couldn't provide because we in the same fucking situation you in. You know what I mean? So, it's funny that like when you're younger, women want to date older guys. And then as you continue to grow older, women want to date older guys until they get my age. It seems like at my age, women like to date guys our age for the first time. But at a lot of the guys want to date women that are a little younger than us. So go ahead.
I don't agree.
You don't agree with?
I don't agree.
With what?
I don't agree that women y'all age want to date men y'all age. I don't agree with that. Women y'all age want to date men that's older than y'all because they ready to have something. The stability and the resources that older man provides, y'all ain't providing.
Older man meaning what? What's the age you talking about? Are we talking about?
Okay, in your 35. Age, okay, let's say 35.
We're gonna say 35. At what age do you think that 35-year-old women would like to date?
40 and 45.
I don't believe it.
I believe it. 40 and 45. Because number one, around 40, 45, that's when your shit should start really clicking as far as your bread. It should start elevating at that point. And they like that, what that affords them.
No, I get
they want you, and you ain't even figured out what the hell. You still trying to goddamn get to the point where you actually making a couple of dollars doing something.
Possibly.
So what the fuck she want with you?
Well, let me see. We got a comment. Shout out to the brother Tyron Sweat in the chat. He said anything over 10 or under 10 is just weird to me. I mean, 10 is the max you can go. Is it 10? 10 is the max you can go. These old niggas gotta stop tripping.
Okay. Hold on. So say that again.
He said 10 years is what he's saying.
Okay.
10 years over or 10 years under. Anything above that is just weirdo shit, is what he's saying.
Anything over or under that is
Yes.
weirdo shit.
If you're going 10 years over, if you're going, that's what he's saying. If you're going under 10 years or more than 10, if you're going under more than 10 years or going over more than 10 years, is weirdo shit.
I don't understand where he get that from. How is that weirdo? They've been doing that since the beginning of time.
Well, my thing is that we can't, honestly, and then you keep wanting to use that and go to the biblical as we were talking about it. You want to
They've
go
been doing it since the beginning of time.
At the same time,
how's that weirdo?
society has continuously evolved and continue to critique and not necessarily always in a beneficial
what you say
way.
His name was?
Tyron.
How much pussy you done got, Tyron? That's what I want.
No, Tyron did well.
He did.
I went to school with Tyron.
Oh, you went to school with him?
Yeah,
So he one of them.
One of what?
One of the dudes that you went to school with.
Yeah.
Okay, so you still a child to me, Mr. Tyron. Yes, sir. You a child of me.
No, nigga, I'm not.
You a child of me.
No, I'm not.
You just a grown man, and I respect you.
There you go. You a grown man.
But you still my child, though.
But see, that's
you still my child.
I understand what you're saying, but he's not your child.
No,
so
and that's why I'm gonna feed his ass, because he's not my child.
No, you
okay.
So go ahead.
When you get your little young ass up about 10 years from where you at right now, that shit gonna change.
What's that?
That 10-year shit.
So
it's gonna change.
So hold on. So you think that when we get 40, is what you're saying, that we would want to date 30-year-olds or 50-year-olds?
When you turn how old again?
40.
Yeah. Yes, you will. You would see nothing. One thing you would not see nothing wrong with it.
One thing I will say, and I mean, I understand. One thing I will say is that, like, once you get over a certain threshold, I believe it's not a big deal. Once a person, like, if you're 55, 60, and you're talking to a 35-year-old woman, that's what, 25 years.
Yes.
And I don't believe that that's a big deal, but at the same time, I think you're easily getting you're probably going to be getting exploited. But if you're even swap, ain't no swindle. So if you're happy with getting exploited, then is it exploitation? Is it just some shit that I like doing?
Is it exploitation, or is it benefit for benefit?
Exactly. Even swap, ain't no swindle.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, when his little young ass get a little bit more older, get some more. See, he probably not great like you. You know, you look like you're about 10 years older than what you is.
You look like
that's just different. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, bro.
But he young. And that's what young guys do. When I was his age, I thought the same shit. But didn't.
No, because you exactly.
Because you 35, don't know 35-year-old. Don't know 35-year-old girl.
I'm telling you, bro. Most of the guys that I know, my homie, even you look at Teron, his wife is around his age. He's a little Q. The homie Jeff, the other homie Q. Like, all of my partners, they got women that's around our age. It ain't no big ass age gap. We don't have that. But I think it's hold on. The thing is that it's because we're in that spot. Like I said, I believe that we're in that spot where you generally find women don't want to date too old, because we're at an age where niggas are stable. Certain guys are stable. Certain people are still figuring it out. But a lot of us are stable. Niggas got their own place. They got a car. You know what I mean? They got a job. They are right. So we're at an age where we done got to the point to where we're starting stability.
That's why y'all can do that.
Do what?
Date. That's why the women are attracted to y'all, because y'all have got yourself together early and y'all starting on y'all path. They can see it. They can draw the line, the trajectory. They can see it. But for the nigga that's out here just still trying to goddamn, the average motherfucker that's out here still goddamn y'all age, still goddamn ain't really got the job he want yet, and still just goddamn, you ain't got girls his age, Tyron's age, your age, girls looking at that motherfucker. You just happen to be in a circle of niggas that goddamn doing they shit. And I applaud y'all. I do. But if you, bruh, I don't know very many young guys y'all age that's doing what y'all doing. Q, all y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know very many guys y'all age that's doing. When I was y'all age, bro, I wasn't doing it.
What I'm saying is that, like, but you also don't know very many guys my age, like a plethora of guys.
But I don't know them personally, but I know of them because I know they uncles, I know they mamas.
No, I see.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know them, no, but I know they fucked up.
But
and so a woman that's 30,
they're still getting women that's their age.
They still fucking. Getting women ain't the same as fucking.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that
niggas ain't putting on no rings.
What I'm saying is that the women their age are still attracted to them. You see what I'm saying? They're still having sex, so which means that there's still interest. So you know what I mean? Having stability is the icing on the cake. But what I'm saying is the level of attraction at this age, the women are attracted to guys this age. They want guys that are stable at this age, but they're attracted to guys this age. At the same time, to say that, like, there are some women that aren't able to find a guy that, you know what I mean, that is stable at this age, and maybe she does go older. But in general, we at this age, women actually like to have men our age.
I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that. That part right there, the way you put that, I can't speak on that because, like I say, I know of them, but I don't know them. You know what I mean? I'm not in a circle where I can hear them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess I can get on the internet. Well, it ain't shit. The internet, everybody's selling pussy on the internet. They just forget.
And telling lies.
They just forget. Telling lies. They talk about the shit they don't want and what they gonna accept and all that shit go out the fucking window.
Okay, so to be direct, why do you think it is that? Well, we already went over like why younger women would want an older man. It was stability. You're at a different place in life. Assumingly you're at a different place in life, and there's stability that we had.
As soon as they date a couple of y'all and they ain't doing shit right and they shit ain't popping and she having to goddamn help take care of this nigga because usually women, and that's why we say they mature faster than guys, is because usually at that age a woman locked in on her job.
Yeah,
she locked in.
Women, that's one
she
thing
locked
too.
in.
That's one thing, especially when you talk about like black women. I can't speak for other cultures of women because I'm not around them enough to really be able to see how they do. But for black women specifically, they got jobs.
They got jobs, and they making good money too.
Yeah. They
and
got
then you
jobs
come up
and
there and you goddamn, you come
money.
up there and you her age or whatever. You know, she thinks she cute or whatever. She might let you drop, but she ain't trying to really be with you unless you goddamn, you know. Unless you done goddamn, you know, hung from the ceiling fans and goddamn, you done goddamn, you know what I mean? Make that thing quiver. You know what I mean? You don't put some work in. Now, if you do that, then she probably gonna hang with you and then she gonna put up with it for a while. But that shit gonna get old. If you don't get your shit together, that shit gonna get old. And then some dude, I ain't saying he got to be my age, he can be in his 40s. He come along, he got the shit going on.
It sounds like the shit that you own is like trying to say that like the dudes our age in general, it ain't worth a fuck. And like y'all got this shit so figured out.
It ain't a lot of y'all, bro. It ain't a lot.
I had to keep in mind reminding you that it's niggas your age that is fucked up and then had plenty time. Y'all done had plenty time to figure it out, and you're still fucked up.
And I ain't don't disagree with it.
Okay, so don't sit and keep on trying to come down on us like y'all niggas, you broke it, she gonna leave you.
See, there you go.
At least we got
I take it for us too. It's a lot of us fucked up too. And that's why I just said a minute ago, when I was your age, I was still fucked up.
Yeah.
I was still fucked up. I was trying to figure this shit out. But when the shit got clicking, I wasn't your age no more. I had just started, you know what I mean? And I got it on later. You know what I mean? Some people get it on earlier. I got mine later.
Some people,
but I made it there. And some people don't even get there.
Don't get it, for sure.
You know what I mean? So I got mine later, and I admit that. You know, but like I said, I think it has a lot to do with where you were, the parents that you had, the people that you was around, and how you was, you know,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to be smart enough to check out and try to figure a different way. Because if I done went the way my mom and my daddy went, I'd still be out there with nothing. I figured out a long time ago, I need a job. And regular job.
I don't mean to go too long on this, but I think that there's something that we in with the talks that we're having in my generation too, is like a lot of bashing going on for like bashing our parents for the things that happened before we were here, and we do kind of bash all a bit. And the thing is that we also don't understand that like credit, there was a hesitancy that you all had to like, not necessarily you, but there was a lot of people there was a hesitancy.
My mom.
Yeah, they're like a lot of them didn't
Yeah.
want to try credit cards. So that shit was like not a thing. Like
That's right.
them loans that like you only did certain shit if you had to. And the stories you heard about it was like, you know, failing stories. So like there was a hesitancy to actually get into the financial game. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people were wearing L's, but I mean that's also based on like a consistent level of stability that a lot of people didn't have, and the banks were looked at as predatory, which they're still predatory, but we understand it more now.
Yeah, that's
than we
right.
did then.
And then the other thing about that is because of that, what you just mentioned, because of that, our parents wasn't teaching us about money as far as finances and stuff like that. And if you ever want a house, what you got to do and this, that, and the third. They didn't teach us that. You know, it's different. My generation, I did anyway. I looked at shit different. I tried to do stuff that they didn't do. You know what I mean? I tried to do stuff they didn't do. Now, my mama did buy a house. You know, my daddy done had a couple of houses. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they never talked to us about how they did that or how that made sense. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you know, like me and you, we chop it up about finances all the freaking time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
with complete transparency. Go ahead.
Yes, with complete transparency. See, they didn't never want you to know how much they made.
Yeah.
They didn't never want you to know, you know what I'm saying, how much they spent on this and when they were short on the bills and you know what I mean? They didn't want y'all to know none of that, but that shit is important.
Absolutely.
It's important.
And I think that this is 100%. I agree 100%. And nothing, I feel like there's nothing more important than telling the kid why they can't get the things that they want.
Yeah.
You mean? Not like, and allow them to know if I could afford it, you would be able to have it based on your behavior, based on what you're doing in school, based on checking these boxes. You do deserve this thing, but I'm not in a position to be able to give it to you, and this is why. Let's go ahead and sit down like this. Like I was talking to Nana. Yes, it was either today or yesterday. I was talking to her about like the idea of, because I put my bills on the refrigerator. No, I don't. My wife put the bills on the refrigerator as they come, light bill, water bill, all that stuff. She'll put it on the refrigerator or like the pike pads using whatever they call that shit, the the little joint that the toll shit. She put them on the refrigerator to help me remind me. And so I go up there and I'm telling Nana, look, that I took this road but I don't have to go into detail on all that. But what I was saying all that to say that like helping your child to understand the whys of everything. See, and what you'll notice is that children ask why all the time. And you can easily get aggravated with answering all these fucking whys.
And I come from a generation of because I said so.
Absolutely.
That's what you get. Ask why if you want to. You might get knocked the fuck down. Fact. Why get you fucked up?
Depends on the presentation of the why. If I'm telling you to do some shit and you say why. Oh, well, at the same time, honestly, that's something that I'm trying. That's one of those things that I'm trying to do differently. Is because why we didn't say why.
Oh, I know.
We didn't say why.
I know.
We knew. I don't even know where it fucking come from. I know as long as I've been alive, it just was a thing. Yeah. I don't know how many L's I caught, or if I tried it once before. I don't remember that part. Yeah. But I know that we didn't do that shit.
Yeah. Why wasn't one of them ones you wanted to use?
Yes. We didn't do that shit.
Not by itself.
Oh, for sure.
In front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, that's something I'm trying to do differently. Like I try to answer as many questions and help her understand, because I think that helps with like decision making. The why will help you understand why it makes sense.
Yes,
and we getting on a tangent. So I wanted to ask, going back to we could say the Tracy Ellis Ross, which we're gonna get there with the Shannon Sharp thing. Why do you think it is that? Why do men want to date younger women? Of course, we understand women want to date older men because of the difference in stability levels.
So, the youthfulness. It's the youthfulness.
What does that mean?
Yeah, tight skin, tight ass, tight pussy. 3 T's.
Yeah, hit the block though. You hit the block enough.
You hit the block enough. Shit get loose. I mean, I'm talking about older women.
As you get older,
the muscles relax. You know what I mean? The muscles relax. You know, and then sometimes, you know, you run up on the older woman, she took care of herself. That box still right. But I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
So essentially what you're saying is that an older guy, generally, he's going to be stable. That's the only reason why she picks him over.
That's the only reason, yeah.
And so the give and take
he got something you know.
It's all monetary.
Yeah, monetary.
It's all going to be monetary.
Yeah.
And so the trade out is the youthfulness for the monetary gain.
Yeah, and then it's not just monetary though. Women are very inquisitive, and they like learning, you know, how you got from point A to point B. So you got a story to tell too. You see what I'm saying? You got a story to tell too, and they want that story. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, she wants that story because she's trying to figure out her trajectory. She's trying to figure hers out. And then on top of that, if she was to date somewhere close to her age, she would have jewels or whatever you want to call them that she could drop in his ear if he would pay attention. You know what I mean? Help him. Because I done heard of a lot of women that help a guy get on his feet and get straight and start getting himself together and whatnot. And they usually get that from somebody that already been down that road before. You see what I'm saying? So you get wisdom, information, and monetary gain from that. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's going to be much more beneficial for the woman, the younger woman, to date the older guy. Which I mean,
it's more beneficial for a woman to date a man, period, regardless of what age he is.
Absolutely, or it should be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, if he's a man, we're not talking about Tyrones and all that. I'm saying a man.
Yeah. You was making the point. You were kind of making a point. Now I want to kind of bring forward is that women, in my opinion, even Kwee, women want to be led.
They want to be led. Even Kwee want to be led. Right. But you got to be the type of man that Kwee will let lead her. And you know what I mean?
But oftentimes, what I'll say is that like. There can also be a situation to where a woman can have lived a lifestyle to where she's not going to allow anyone to lead her.
And that's true.
And so like and that's the thing about like as you get older as a woman, as you get older, it gets a little rougher.
And you figure out it set in on your ass that this shit ain't working. I gotta try something new. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That shit, you done did that shit. And see, another thing, whether we realize it or not, women know. They don't want to admit it, but they know the older they get, the lower their property value go. They know that.
It's true.
They know that. Because who wants that?
Wait a minute. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay. Who want a fucked up 50, 60-year-old broke ass woman? I mean, I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about ain't got no damn well to stay. Got kids and they ain't quite grown yet. And if they is grown, they still back and forth. If she got somewhere to stay, they trying to stay with her. So you got to take all this. Who the fuck? What man gonna sign up for that shit?
Fuck no.
You see what I'm saying? So if you wait till your ass start getting up around that 40 something,
45,
and you ain't locked in on some shit, then basically you're gonna be fucking for a roof. And I'm telling you, it's a fact.
I see
it's a fact.
No, I see the little case. I ain't watch it, but it was like something that came across my timeline that was talking about like fucking for using sex for rent payments.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You fucking for a roof.
Okay. So let's transition it, not necessarily all the way, but we're gonna go to the Tracy Ellis Ross thing, right?
Okay.
So she was talking about she was in there with Michelle Obama, and they was doing a podcast, and she was talking about her preference is to date younger men. And so I got to thinking and trying to understand where the benefits would be.
She a sugar mama.
Yeah, it sounds
she a sugar mama. It don't benefit. It's the same. If your ass old and you getting this 25, 30-year-old dick.
Yeah.
You got, listen, there is men dangle carrots women dangle carrots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
His carrot just looked like it might could be a carrot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only difference. But she paying for that. That's what she doing. She ain't finna put no ring on now with them finger. And then she ain't finna let now one of them put no ring on her finger.
Mm.
She got it. She done made it. She doing the same thing a man does.
It's a power play.
It's the power play. She doing the same thing a man does.
But I think, you know what I mean, and I guess that
and I ain't mad at her. If you got it, use it.
I think, and see, the thing is that to
ain't
me,
nobody finna marry Tracy Ellis Ross. Nobody finna marry her. She got it figured out.
Yeah.
Nobody's finna marry her.
When she was young,
yeah.
And you mean that
yeah,
she would have got it then. But like at this point, it's too,
that's what I'm telling you. You're not a young dude might do it because she got them, you know, his car, she bought it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He got them, you know, got this card. It's hers, but it's his card.
Well, I wonder what she would even like allow to qualify for a dude that she would date. Like, I wonder what her, you know what I mean? What her qualification, her check boxes would be to dating like a younger dude, because you can't have the same criteria
that you would for an older dude, a dude your age.
That
they obviously ain't them. No.
But what I was thinking was, and it kind of goes into the equality conversation that we were going to have, is that like I feel that though the older woman is dating the younger man for the same reason that the older man is dating the younger woman, seemingly. But I think those two things look completely different. I think that the mindset of the individual is completely different.
Definitely.
And so like
because ain't no man gonna let Tracy Ellis Ross lead them. See, he's still there because his benefits for him, but he's not gonna let you lead him.
Or he will until he gets to the age.
No, he's not letting you lead him then.
Mm.
He figured out the plan.
Put the play together.
He put the play together. And he's on it. That's all it is. He's not gonna let you lead him. How the fuck is you a man and you gonna let a woman lead you?
But the thing is that we're at a time period where some dudes would rather not lead in that same capacity.
No. I don't. But see, this is the thing, OleHead. You can say some men don't like to lead in the same capacity. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit. Mm. What he's doing is he's letting her do things that he don't want to do no fucking way, and it look like she leading. Mm. That's what he doing. Because there ain't no man gonna follow no goddamn woman. Mm. Something about being a man just ain't gonna let you do it. Now, you can let her have certain responsibilities. She can feel like, oh, I'm did some that because I do this, and he, you know, he okay with it, and you know what I mean? And yeah, hey, put your big girl drawers on. But you better check these boxes while you're doing it, though. Mm. You know what I'm saying? She don't see it. It works. Stick with it. I ain't mad at it. Ain't no man letting no woman lead them. No man letting no woman lead them.
Yeah, I can't say that I've specifically seen it either, though. Like,
now you got some little weak niggas that these women they woman beat their ass and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that shit.
I don't know nobody like that, but I could see it in that scenario. That's but other than that, ain't no man letting no one. Tracy Ellis Ross is not leading that nigga. She got there. The shit ain't sweet as she's saying it is.
Well, I mean, obviously it's not sweet because she ain't married and she ain't been married. And this obvious that you really.
No, she called that nigga. She called that nigga and he don't answer the phone sometimes. Mm. She does. And she get mad and this and that and the other, and then he come back over there and put them sweet nuts in her ear and tear her back out, and then it's all over. Mm. We can talk about that another time.
Hey, you know something funny? I was listening to Unpack, and they was talking about Tracy Ellis Ross, and one of the guys, G, shout out to Unpack. He was saying that Tracy Ellis Ross could get a dude at any age bracket, and like I'm like, maybe she could fuck any dude at any age bracket.
She can. I agree with bruh.
What?
I agree with him. Because her bank statement probably looked like, motherfucker, it's all money.
The thing is that
it's all money.
What I'm saying is that it sounds good. Like, this is just me talking, right? Mm-hmm. I can't envision a man that literally would like date a woman and go through what it looks like for her to actually like take care of him. I can't really see and like fathom like a man in the instance where it actually makes sense that he would just allow her to just
talking about just flat out take care of him.
Right. And then like and because at the end of the day, you can say that if she's doing that, then she is gonna be the leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he is submitting to her leadership.
He's submitting to her leadership.
So I don't really see that.
Only way, but see, that's the thing. I can see it if he got a play he put together.
Oh, it's talking about for a period of time.
For a period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If, I'm talking about like serious type shit, like trying to really, you know what I mean, to death do us part. Like a
no.
You know
that's why she ain't gonna get no ring.
Exactly.
She ain't gonna get no ring.
That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Like he said that she could get married at any age bracket. I'm like, bro, I don't believe that. I don't think that she could just she looks good. She looks good for her age. She has a really nice body. But at the end of the day, like if that was the case, that she could have dude at any generation, then she would be married by now.
She would have been married.
She would have been married. And I'm not trying to shit on her because I don't know her, but I'm just saying that I think that was a bit of a Stretch Armstrong that he said. Okay, so let's go into it. This kind of rolls into like the equality conversation, right? And it's funny because I said this. I was like, I asked him, "Do you think men and women are equal on the To Be Fair show?" This was some weeks ago. I said that, and we're in a time period where it's kind of funny, it's like, "Are you saying the same?" No, I'm saying equal. Of course, it's fucking stupid to say that. Yeah, men and women are the same because that's obvious that it's not.
False. Yeah.
Do you think that men and women are equal, or should we push for this gender equality thing? Do you think that it makes sense that we do that?
It don't make sense.
Why not?
Because it's not in our DNA. It's not in our DNA. That's just a simple answer. It's not in our DNA. I mean, bruh, I'm gonna tell you. My wife, I don't let her do shit for me. If I get money from my wife, I borrow it and I pay it back.
Which is crazy to me.
Because as a man, in my definition, to what standard I hold myself to, I couldn't sleep taking her money.
Well, I mean, at the same time, when you become married, it's not her money.
Shit me. That's the way I look at it.
I can tell you this: if my wife ain't work, if my wife go to work and she got that, I'm not paying you back a goddamn thing.
I pay her back.
I wish I would. It wouldn't even come across my mind to think about paying it back.
I pay her back because I say, can I borrow it?
Well, I mean, y'all also got.
I say, can I?
Y'all also got married later. Y'all also both had things apart from each other, like houses on, you know what I mean, and had different things going on. And which honestly, I wouldn't, and just being, I wouldn't fuck with. I couldn't fuck with a relationship where I feel like I owe you.
Hey,
the whole old thing to me, the marriage to me, the whole thing of the coming together marriage thing means that I will. What's
yours is mine and mine's is yours.
I will reciprocate, but I don't owe you. If you pay for a thing for me, I don't need to try to figure out how to give. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that. I wouldn't marry you if that was the case.
It's not that simple. We just went and got something to eat a little while ago, and she paid for it.
Oh, so it's not a
no. It's not that simple.
Okay. You just make it. You said it like almost a blanket statement. Just so we can make sure everybody understands.
I'm saying it like a blanket statement.
Yeah.
No. My wife. If I wanted to go out and eat right now and to wherever, and I ain't got a quarter, my wife would take me and pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And you don't feel like you owe her.
And I don't feel like I owe her.
Okay.
No. I don't owe her what she took me to get today.
Yeah.
I don't owe her nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. But I'm talking about like if my money run tight and I don't want to go in my account and I know she got money in the bank, why the fuck am I going in my account when I can just borrow it from you? Because it's just sitting in the fucking bank.
But my thing is you shouldn't have to borrow it.
Okay, but
it should be a thing to where
that's my thing.
And
that's my thing.
I think it's probably more of you than
it
anything.
Is. It is.
And it's that pride.
It is.
It's that pride to
damn
be able to
sure
say,
is.
I do it myself 100%. And not you. Know
that's
I mean?
Right.
For
that's
sure.
right.
But you're gonna get.
That's right.
You're not gonna get very. It's still the trajectory or the goal is harder to meet when you're doing it yourself.
Hey.
And nigga, I know I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And no, and at the same time, I would say my wife's contribution saves me a lot of money. Yeah, we got 2 kids.
Oh, yeah.
That damn child care is crazy.
Yeah.
I'll be paying damn near a band a month. Probably over. No, it would be over a band a month. I think niggas is paying like $350 a week.
Yeah.
So what? $650? I mean, $700 a week.
$700 a week.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
But back to the equality thing. In my opinion, I don't think that women actually want equality.
No, they don't want that shit.
I don't
They
think
don't
so.
want it.
I don't think so.
They
It
don't
wouldn't
want
make
it.
sense. Like if I, which I can't really put myself in a woman's position, but if I was to try to mentally do whatever the fuck to try to figure it out, there's no fucking way that I want to be equal to a man. No fucking way.
She can't respect him. If that's just
we were the same. Okay,
that's just like the same thing that some people have, women have about them making more money than their man. It's a masculinity thing in their mind that when I make more than my man, then you know what I'm saying? Then basically he ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? In their minds, you know, and then this sounds good. Oh yeah, I could date a man that makes less than me. But will you respect that man though?
And you know something that's crazy.
And she's not.
What I'll say is that
because she'll feel like that she taking care of him and he not taking care of her. That's how she gonna feel.
And you know what I actually appreciate the fact that the women that say that, right? That say that like it's not about money. I appreciate you. I mean, I could date a guy that made less than me. And I think that honestly, I think that you should be able to. In reality, I think that you should be, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But I don't believe that money. I don't believe that money has anything to do with masculinity. I don't think money has really anything to do with leadership ability. I don't believe that. But culturally, it seems as though that these things kind of tie.
It ain't no seams.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. Because you could be a great leader and have no money.
Oh no. I understand that. But
but hold on, let me just finish. The only thing that I found when I've talked to women that make that statement, and which I think that they should be able to, because 1 + 1 = 2 all day, and the simple math is that what you're doing plus what I'm doing puts us in a better position if we're able to really get over our egos and allow the togetherness to actually be complete. Most often, though, it's not sustainable, because what we do in our culture is we continuously compare ourselves to other people. And so if you're going to keep comparing yourself, of course, your girlfriend may be dating a dude that make more than her, and then he may make, you know what I mean? And so like you're continuously comparing, and in the culture that we have, the comparisons always will make you can change. Like I can feel confident about myself right now, and then depending on who I'm around, I can find a motherfucker that can make me not feel confident. You know what I mean? You can find the motherfucker that regardless.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Go ahead.
I understand exactly what you're saying. And it does sound good to hear a woman try to convince herself that she could function in that scenario. And I'm not saying that there's no onesies and twosies out there that can function in that scenario. For sure. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, the average woman can't function in that scenario for the same reason you said. We can't get out of the way of our egos. You look at your girlfriend.
Comparisons, yeah.
You look at your girlfriend and she got all this shit that her boyfriend bought her, that you feel like that she got it going on. You don't know what the fuck she got to deal with. You don't know what come with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you that, like, you know, women like to get their hair and feet and nails done and all of that stuff, keep themselves up like that, because to their girlfriends, it looked like they got it going on. But I always say, look at where your girlfriend is at, really.
In real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
And then tell me that you would switch places with her. Then if you would do that, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you look at her life, and you can't say, I'll take her position in that place over the position that you in, you need to shut the fuck up and keep working with what you got. Because the simple fact is that the shit that they got going on, or what they doing right now, where is the trajectory? Where is it leading? Can you see where it's going? Because you got to put that in there too. Can you see with what they got going on that they're going to be here in the next 5 years? And then look at your scenario and look at what's going on and what does your trajectory look like for the next 5 years? Doing it the way that y'all doing it, because evidently it's different from the way they doing it, because you trying to impress her.
Which it'll be different anyway. That reminded me of a story. When I was in the military, some partners, like I only had 2 guys. Those was my guys. There was some other people that was cool, but like my guys. And I ain't gonna go too deep. I love them. I love their, you know what I mean, the women they were with when they were together and all that. But I was the only point that I want to just tell this part of the story is that, like, when I was in the military, of course, my wife wasn't working. She really didn't work. She hasn't worked. But no, she hasn't worked. And so I remember being in the military, and you know, at the end of the day, it is a lot. It's a lot, but it's still, either way, I'm not going to all that. But I was still giving plasma and everything. You know what I mean? When I was like E2, you know what I mean, E3, I was giving plasma weekly, you know what I mean, to make sure that everything was being met. But I was also going into the casino. I wasn't spending no big money, but I would, when I think back, that was one of those things that's like, yeah, but you was going to the casino though. You know what I mean? You maybe spent $60 here and there, you know what I mean, $100 here and there. So maybe if you would have been more mature and understanding what was going on, I could have done some things differently. But I said all that to say that, like, my homies' wives, one of them was in the military too. My other homie, his wife started, you know what I mean, she got a job, you know what I mean, doing what she was doing. And I was the only one sitting here just operating off of the income, and we all were the same rank pretty much at the time. They able to go out to OKC and do the, you know what I mean, have fun and doing all this shit. I couldn't afford to do this shit. You know what I mean? I couldn't afford to do it. And so that was something that was a stressor on my relationship or my marriage, because I'm comparing myself to what the homies is able to do. You know what I mean? I'm over here doing it. So I'm trying to push you to do this. And which at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying that she wouldn't work. I'm just saying that, like, what I say is that the environment wasn't healthy. I didn't know how to be a husband. I didn't know how to be a man for real. I was still finding myself in husbandship and manhood. And it just reminded me of that, because like the comparison shit always gonna make you, you know what I mean? But me and my wife ended up making, we done separated sometimes, but at the end of the day, we still together and love my brothers. And like I say, love the women that they, you know what I mean? But the shit didn't work out. You know what I mean? And I never would have known, like, you know what I mean? We would be the ones. I couldn't have told you this shit back then to stand strong. You know what I mean? I could have told you that shit. Yep. But you know what I mean? You sitting there comparing yourself to these people, and like, and it's all things based. It's all things based. Shit that you don't need. I was literally comparing myself to being able to blow extra money.
Yes.
Not that they was investing money better than I. You know what I mean? Not that they had money to invest. Yeah. It was that they were just doing shit. You know what I mean? That's just hilarious when you look back at it.
And and women more so, men too. It ain't no gender thing.
Yeah.
It's men and women. We look at what other people got, and then we want that. We don't know what that cost them. We don't know, like I say, the trajectory of them having what they have, and where it's going to
sustain. How long you could sustain?
How long you going to be able to sustain that? Yeah. And then what is it going to cost you in the future? Because shit you do today, whether you paid for it or not, shit that you paid for today can change your trajectory for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you sitting here wishing that you could do this because your girlfriends is goddamn, or your homies, or your homies is sitting here, oh man, why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't doing that? Or maybe they ain't saying shit. Maybe they just doing their thing. But like I say, you got to look at where you can see, where you can draw a line from where they doing to where they might be, and then draw the line at your same scenario and see, because maybe they make it and go further, but maybe they don't. And then the thing about it is, if you can't see, okay,
I think fuck what they got going on. I don't need to be trying to figure out what their trajectory and none of that is. If you focus enough on what you got going on, you can figure the play out. You keep focusing on and trying to figure out how long they'll sustain and fuck them. You know what I mean? Love your peoples, but at the same time, you can't compare your relationship to your relationship to their relationship because you don't know the inner workings. You're not in the house. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. That niggas, everybody is posting their highlight reel, and what they allow you to see is generally the best face of them. And what the only time you will see bad thing is when they demonizing their partner. They ain't never gonna say,
yeah, but
I
you talking
fucked up.
about people on you talking about people on the internet. I'm
Well,
talking about
even
people
your
that you're
even your
close
people,
to.
even your
And I'm
people,
not
you don't know
saying
what their
I'm not
relationship
saying,
really look like.
yeah, and not in the house, you don't. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you should worry about what other people are doing. I'm just saying, if you look at what they are doing, if you use your mind, you can see if that looks like from your life, you can see if that looks like that's something sustainable that they are doing, or if that's something that you can see that, oh, if they keep moving like that, they're gonna be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I
it
don't
makes
really be trying to
sense.
pay folk attention. Like I
And it
don't really
makes
be trying.
sense. Well, hey,
And let's get to a couple comments. We got Tyron again. He was like, OG ain't playing with the crying face when he was on his ass, Paul. Then we got him again, Tyron again. He said, I think our parenting skills are different because the way we teach conflict resolution skills to our kids is my CH, I'm not sure, different than how we were taught back in the day. We don't prompt violence. Um, that's something that I was dealing with. Well, I was dealing with, with Nana, that girl at the
yeah,
school, and that was something I fumbled back and forth with. Because the natural thing is like if somebody hit you, hit them back, right? And the natural thing is like you take up for yourself and da da da. And then I thought about putting her in martial arts, like you were saying, and all this stuff. And I was like, bro, you know what? What I'll do is this is what I've come to now. And doesn't mean that I'll stay here. This is what I think right now, and time will tell. And hope, no, I will evolve with what's going on. But where I currently am is like, yeah, I want my daughter to stay delicate. I wanted to stay soft. I do want to teach her conflict resolution. I haven't quite like got this masterful idea of how to do that, but I don't want to put her in like martial arts and like try to get her to be more tough. I like her
I don't.
softness. I want her to stay as soft as she is, as innocent as long as possible. Not I already know the world will break the innocence down regardless. But what I will do is like for me, I think that her being as caring, soft as she is, I want to maintain that for as long as possible. And I think that like the best thing I can do is create a better environment the best way that I can. I don't want to go into like the old way of thinking. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times I'm not saying that it was wrong, but it's not the way that I choose to go with. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna try something different is what it is. I'm gonna try something different than what naturally would have come from you ask somebody, oh yeah, tell her she needed, even the teacher told her, yeah, you need to hit her back. I'm like, damn, do I want my daughter like fighting? Because that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, the way you look at it, I think you look at it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to fight, you have to fight less.
Possibly.
Because when you know that dude will whoop your ass, you
No.
don't go over there fucking with him.
So hold on. The thing is that it's the callous that learning the thing.
Yeah, but see,
gives
that's the
you.
thing too. OleHead.
Uh-huh.
If you put her in the right type of school,
Mm-hmm.
they teach her to protect herself only when necessary.
No, I get
But
that.
also,
Well,
also,
mm-hmm.
they teach her position, which is you're a lady. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go around da 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 da. But this is what you do.
You're in.
I'm not. I met about 6 or 8 girls and boys, and they was white from a school. They had
they was white.
Yeah.
With that don't mean.
But I'm saying I'm saying that they was white. I'm putting that on there because of the fact the way they was talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
The way they was talking to me surprised me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would have expected that from some black kids.
Okay.
And it's not because I'm racist. It's not because I don't think white people are this or that, or I think they this or that. It's just that the way they was talking to me,
mm-hmm.
it threw me back.
Okay.
Because they was telling me how that, because I was like, oh, y'all some tough girls and this, and the third. Oh, y'all can do this and y'all can do that. Yeah, how you think? And They told me, the girls told me, that's not what this is about.
Mm.
They say that's not what this is about. They don't teach us to be tough. They teach us to defend ourselves, but they don't teach us to be tough. She said they don't teach us to fight people. We do competitions so that it makes us better at what we do.
Mm.
You know, it's like a sport. She said it doesn't take anything from me. I said, so you think you still a lady? She said, I know I am, because that's what my daddy raised me to be.
Mm.
And that's what the girl told me. She said, they don't teach us to be aggressive.
Of course not. Yeah,
You know what I mean? She said, they don't teach us not to be ladies. She said, this is like a sport. But within this sport, I can protect myself.
Yeah.
Little white,
Sports
little white girl said that to me.
I think
I was
that's
set
nice.
back when she said that shit.
And I'll continue to running
Yeah.
through my mind.
Yeah, you do what you
Because
do.
at the end of the day, of
You do
course,
what you
it's the
do.
way I'm just the type of person where, like, first off, I ain't gonna go with just what the first. I'm not just going with what I knew when I was
Yeah.
growing up, because I know that
Because
we
that
didn't
shit
have
was,
great.
we ain't have no,
You know
that's
what I mean?
right.
We didn't have a great.
Relationship.
Not to downplay the things that y'all put into us that developed us into the kids or the adults that we become. But like, there's been some, like, I got some critiques, and there's some things. Of course, my parenting can be critiqued as well. But like I said, I'll continue to think about it, and I'm going to do it in the best way that I. You know what I mean? What's most beneficial? I just got more thinking to do on that. But let's go to the next one. Unc say Majid says, Unc say, a man that allows a woman to take care of them, that is a real simp. But even the pimp controls the woman mindset to where she thinks she's taking care of him, but in reality, he's taking care of her. As that was back on the conversation about a man being with a woman that will lead. Uh, then Unc said, marriages come together, but when the two of you guys get together, you don't them periods be murdering me. He be putting the periods. I don't know. He put a lot of periods, and then they don't be either way. Love you, man. You don't want everything you have to be hers. You shouldn't want anything of hers. Think about it. Oh, let me start over. I'm sorry. Marriages come together, but when the two of you guys get together, you don't want everything you have to be hers, and you shouldn't want anything of hers. Think about it. She walked. She walked. Yeah, walked away with all it. Hey, I don't know. I don't know that divorce, John. If you lose, that's one of them things for me too. It's like one of them things is like, I'm putting the play all the way together, and I'm thinking down the line, and I got this, you know what I mean? Got the raggedy house on, like what Byron Allen, the raggedy house on the good street, and you know what I mean, the equity, and you put all of this together just to possibly lose it. I mean, that's always been like a fear. Not necessarily, yeah, it is a fear. I wouldn't want, because I can't sit here and be like, oh, we'll be together forever. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people grow in different ways, and things don't always work out to where y'all can be together for the rest of your lives. And it doesn't mean that time was wasted. It doesn't mean that there needs to be malice and, like, you know what I mean? Just saying that, like, shit, it's tough. Relationships, I always tell you, I've been saying this for, relationships is the hardest thing. Marriage is the hardest thing that you'll ever do. Niggas retire 20 years in the military more often than niggas do 20 years in marriage. So, like, it's the hardest thing you'll do. And so, like, you know what I mean? To think that you just got it figured out and it'll just be.
I don't think I got it figured out, but I do know this. My wife got a hell of a lot more shit than I do. So if we got a divorce, all she wants is me to leave her shit alone, and she'll leave mine alone. Because if the judge get her half of my shit, that means that he gonna give me half of her shit. Half of her shit worth more than half of my shit.
No, that ain't how that works. But go ahead.
That ain't how it works. No. If we gonna do half, if she get half, everything's in the pot.
No. That ain't how that works.
Also, how it works.
If you fuck up, and it's half of your shit. If you fuck, let's say, okay, so I'll say this. Let's say she got multiple properties, and then y'all live in a property together. Let's say that's your house. You fuck around.
We don't live in the house though.
No, I'm not trying to use your exact example. I'm just trying to speak like outside of your exact example. You can fuck around, and infidelity, you'll lose everything. There ain't no 50, like, oh, but what about the houses over here that she had? That ain't how that shit work. From my understanding. That ain't how that shit work.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, um, uh, the I ain't gonna say his name, but I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. He told me that that's how it used to be. It's not like that now. If she come after me, they put everything in one, everything that's ours or hers and mine is ours, and they split up accordingly. That even infidelity, she might get a bigger half.
Which
But
half?
huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
But she might get a bigger half.
Okay.
If she came after me, but I would still end up with my house because she has too much. She has too much. I would still end up with my house because there's no court in the world that'll tell you that y'all got 6 houses between y'all and I can't get one. No court.
I wouldn't debate
So
that.
she get 5 and I don't get 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't debate that.
That's what he told me.
Yeah, and I guess this will go into our last question for today, which is, why?
No, you no, you can't tell. I was trying to ask a question.
Oh, damn, my bad. Go ahead and get that out. My bad. Pause. Get that. Go ahead and get your question in. I forgot all about it.
I want to hear what the hell
I actually appreciate your contribution to the goddamn. I appreciate it.
You ain't gonna appreciate it when I ask it.
Oh, go ahead, ask the motherfucker.
Okay, all right, but goddamn, how you feel about the type of man I made you into? Hold up.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about them trash cans I used to put behind your car today?
How do I feel about the man that you? How you?
I made you
that
into?
You made me into?
Yeah, I made you into. Yeah.
I think. I think that I'm all right. I think that I'm all right. Like, I still got a lot of learning to do, a lot more accountability and discipline. You know what I mean? I pray for accountability and wisdom when I pray. Like, those are 2 things. But I'm all right. You know what I mean? I'm all right.
See, you done just fucked up my question.
And you was talking about,
I said, I made you into.
Nigga, you ain't made me into a goddamn thing.
Okay, I don't get no credit.
You but made me in there. You scratch your arm stroking then. Dude, me, I feel like you scratch your arm stroking. But I will say that, like in reality, for real, that, you know what I mean, there are some things that I realize you didn't necessarily go about it, let's say, in the most maybe mature or most fruitful way, but I understand now what you were trying to do. You know what I mean? I understand now what you're trying to do, and I think that, like, I wouldn't use the same tactics to do the thing, but at the same time, had I not had to go and live with you, being kicked out and like living with you and things, I would have been fucked up. I can tell you now, I'd have been. My behavior patterns, the decisions I was making, would have definitely led me to, you know what I mean. I probably would have been locked up. I've done some time. At least by now, I'd have done some time. So yeah, your contribution definitely, and then I wouldn't have known as much about money, because that wasn't something that you know what I mean, that was taught in the house. Nobody know nothing about money. You know what I mean, now I'm actually like the guy that helps to give the information. Not only did it started with you, like you know what I mean, showing me what credit does, but then me working at the bank too. You know what I mean, it furthered my understanding on the financial end, and so like I'm like the guy, like not, you know what I mean, to boast, but I'm a guy that, like, you know, people will come to and ask those types of questions. I'd also want to shout out Bob in this, because Bob, and I was listening to a meme earlier, or video earlier on Instagram, that made me want to make sure I tell my brother I love him today, because of the fact that I was able to watch him, my older brother. He got me by 4 years, so I was able to watch what he did, and not do some of the shit I seen and not work for him, but I also did the things that I saw work for him, and which it made it so I didn't have to hit as many walls as he did. You know what I mean? And so he was like my direct. He was the only male that I could see grow day to day and see the decision making, and you know what I mean, learn from whether I would do it or not do it. He was the guy that I was able to look at and see to figure out where the fuck am I gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What am I
Bob
gonna do?
wasn't scared to try anything.
Yeah, Bob wasn't scared.
He wasn't scared to
the
try
military.
anything.
I went to the military. That was off after him. You know what I mean? Like getting into like doing flipping and all, like literally martial arts, all of that shit. That shit started with Bob. And so, I mean, shout out to Bob, bro. Love you to death, bro. Love you to life, I mean. But I definitely appreciate your contribution, especially in my adult years. In my adult years, I think that our relationship, like I said, there was no way that I could build, understand how to build confidence. I didn't know how you're supposed to do it. I never, like, people would look at me as confident, and like there were certain boxes that I would check, but I never looked at myself as confident. I always felt like, you know what I mean? I just felt like I was doing things like I never was confident. And then with our relationship, once I could see you respect me as a man, it changed. Now there's no way that, like I said before in another episode, ain't no another man that I feel, you know what I mean, inferior to. Ain't no other man I feel inferior to. So like, bro, well, you know what I mean? We can have a conversation about it. Like whatever happens, like talking to the boss man at the job. Like I have the direct eye contact, you know what I mean? He knows that you know what I mean? But you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to go too far with it, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of contributions and appreciation. I appreciate you, and how our relationship has grown over the years is actually super dope. And you know what I mean? I honestly, the thing about the show is that hopefully what we can do is like be like a seed that could possibly won't help fathers to reach out, like the story you tell, you know what I mean? Reach out to their son. And sometimes it takes for us, because at the end of the day, oftentimes it took for me to forgive what happened 2 weeks ago and still want to be, you know what I mean? Want to deal with you and want to, you know what I mean? And so like, hopefully that's really like the goal of the whole reason why we're doing it together. Not only are you a character and it's hilarious, but hopefully it's inspiring as well.
Yeah, I agree because you know, like I done told a story, you know, on previous episode about, you know, the way I felt about, you know, my father and our relationship. And so I made up in my mind that I didn't want that with you. And so, you know, I appreciate you as well, because if you didn't have the wherewithal to forgive me for the mistakes that I made in your life and in mine as well, that door still would have never been open for me for us to get where we are now, you know. So for that, and with that being said, I know this show is about time to close it down. With that being said, I just want to say I love you, and I thank God for you being my son.
No, that's fine. I love you too, man.
All right, bro.
That's it. We're gonna leave it at that, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Good show. We're gonna be here every Saturday. I mean, might have to take a couple Saturdays every now and then, because I, you know what I mean, doing Saturday and Sunday, and I work during the week. I gotta get some time with the kids.
Bro, you
I gotta get some time with my.
you gotta get
some time with the kids. That shit gonna have to happen. The family, we're gonna have to do family time shit too. But again, we appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll be here every Saturday, 8:30. We got the To Be Fair show tomorrow. That's every Sunday at 4:30. Unpacked every Wednesday at 9:30. And I still got to get up and push this motherfucking button again.
Sound like me. You should do something about that.
Yeah, we're gonna put that we're gonna get that wall mount, the thing mounted on the wall, right. And then the wireless jump. But hey, love y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. Tell your pops you love them today, man. Love y'all tonight or tomorrow. Do it. Make sure you do it. Don't fucking not do it. Do it. All right, love y'all. Y'all be blessed. All right.